Hey, Jeanette here and Old Guy. Today we're going to go into the two greenhouses where we're going to grow things in the ground. They're actually high tunnels. We call them greenhouses sometimes. And we're going to do soil samples. And then we'll go out in our backfield and get some soil samples from that too. Get them sent off and see what analysis we come up with and what the experts think we should do for our growing year. First, we're going into what we call number 3. It's been cleaned out pretty well. It's still got some old weeds, dead weeds in here, and but I think it's been tilled. And we've got wood lined up ready for whenever we're gonna. It fell over. Okay, the wood pile fell over. Oh boy. Well, at least it fell over inside and didn't fall over outside and tear up the curtain. So we're going to grow tomatoes in this hoop house this year. Last year we grew them in our big one that's 30 feet wide. This one's 20 feet wide. And it was too many tomatoes for us to sell. We don't want to do wholesale. We want to just take them to our market and sell them for the best price that we can get on them. And it was just too many. We had to feed a lot of them to the chickens. If you followed along last summer, I had a couple videos where I canned, I don't know how many now, jars of tomatoes, and I'll put that video right here above my head so you can look at it if you'd like to. Actually, there are 2 parts. So we're stepping down and going to the smaller greenhouse, a 20 by 100-ish. It's maybe not quite 100, but it's close enough to call it 20 by 100. We need to get the soil sample gathered. So hold on while we get set up. One of the kittens is up on top of the high tunnel. Running around. They want in. Crazy. We've got this soil sample gatherer. It's just like a steel pipe with a side cut out of it, and then you poke it down into the ground and it comes up in here. You pull it back out and then you've got your soil sample about 6 inches deep. Okay, this is what it looks like. It's not quite 6 inches deep, but it probably compacted a little bit, and do our best to get that out and put it into our bag. Okay, number 3 represents what we call greenhouse number 3. Okay, now we're going to leave this one and go next door to the east, I guess, and to greenhouse number 4. This is where we grew tomatoes last year. And this is also the greenhouse that got damaged in a storm last spring. And it still has a lot of damage to it. I'll try to show you, but if we get a big snow in here, I'm worried about this house, that we're gonna have to pay, that it's gonna fall in. We're gonna have to pay attention and come up out here and knock some of the snow off so that it doesn't get too heavy on top. You can see up there through that ridge how it comes down. It's a little bit hard to get the perspective on a camera, but in the top, right in here, it's bowed down, and the bows are bent all out of shape, and so it's suffering. I don't I don't know whatever it's going to happen to this building, but we'll give it time. We'll keep working in it as long as we can. Well, now all the mama cat and her 3 kittens are all in here, along with Molly, even though we thought we shut them out. Number 4. We know that we're going to grow some cherry tomatoes in this building, and probably some cucumbers, maybe some green beans. I think I'd like to put some peppers in here too, because peppers can grow a long time if they have a long season, and being in here would increase their the length of the season that they could grow. So now we're going to leave this greenhouse and go out in the back field, where now we're out in what we call the South Patch. This is where we grew okra and coxcomb flowers, eggplant, and so we're getting several samples out here. We will mix them all together and then let them dry good. I think they're already pretty dry, but we'll make sure they're dry, and then we'll probably not take the whole package of dirt into the place where we take it, but we'll take half of it or something. And where we take it is, in fact, something I need to tell you. We take it to the University of Missouri Extension in Warrensburg, and then they send it off to Columbia, to MU, where they analyze it. They break it all down and tell us what we need as far as NPK is concerned, but also micronutrients and stuff like calcium and magnesium, because we want to make sure that our soil is in good condition to grow good, healthy food that feed people and not just fill their bellies. I'm going to put an S on here for south right now. I'll write it a little better when I'm inside and not quite so cold. So we've got the soil samples collected, and I'm going to take them in the house and open up the bags and let them air out. They need them really dry. They seem pretty dry, but I don't know how dry really dry is for sure. But I'll let them open up. I'll let them dry out for a day or so, and then I need to get them into town so they can start the process. We're kind of under the wire for getting things like this done, and the getting ready for the growing season is just right on us. We'll be starting the greenhouse up in approximately 2 weeks, where we start our seedlings and bring our aloes out of hiding in one of the buildings with light on them over the winter and all that stuff. So I'll be taking it to town right away. It's starting to get a little bit of snow out here. Well, I've opened up the 3 bags and put them in a little box in front of the stove where it's warm, and they can get some air there for about a day and dry out a little bit more, and we'll get them shipped off. We're about to go into the University of Missouri Extension office and turn in our soil samples.
Information here, so if you can give me your name.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
It's do you want my farm name or my
probably needs to be your
okay.
name, because that's where we'll send it. So
okay, go ahead.
We're going to put these soil samples in a box, and then we're going to send them off to campus, and in about 2 weeks or so you should be getting some results from our agronomist, who's based in Henry County, and he will send those results to you via email, and then he'll give you some suggestions on what you need to do. just the right amount. That will work out perfect. These samples are dry, and that's very good for us because then we don't have to leave them out here and let them sit and finish drying before we send them off to campus. If they're wet, they're going to take a little bit longer to get to campus.
So these were a little wet when they came in, and you
right, and we're just finishing drying them out for them.
Okay.
So.
Okay, well, thanks for helping us get the soil samples sent off, and we'll be waiting for the results.